This meeting is being recorded. Welcome to Nonsense. I'm Zach.
And I'm Amanda.
I wonder if it showed that this meeting is being recorded on my screen for the YouTube video. At the time of recording, it is 2 days after the release of the first video on our, I guess, Nonsense branded, I don't know, entertainment brand. Whatever. The YouTube video came out and it was uh, You have failed to defeat the Earthling military, which is a fantastic title for one of our favorite games. Uh, that was Martian Dice, of course. But Amanda, tell our lovely nonsensicals what's nonsense and how does it work?
Nonsense is the mystery board game podcast
And YouTube show thing.
YouTube show where every week Zach and I play a board game and we don't tell you anything about it, and then you have to guess what board game we were playing. And we play some pretty obscure stuff here at Nonsense.
Yep.
And I think you'll appreciate what we have going on today.
Mm-hmm. That was a very good description. One addendum, we tell you a lot about the board game. We just don't tell you the title. Or like last week, as our faithful listeners will know, sometimes we really suck at not giving the title.
Yeah.
Speaking of,
I haven't edited that one yet, but I can already say that I think we said the title of the game too many times for me to catch each one and bleep it out.
It's kind of hard when the entire premise of the game is to put things on buttons. So we play buttons and that's a really hard thing to not say when the whole game is just buttons.
It's very difficult, guys.
It's almost as if we didn't say that, the name of the game is buttons and we just pretended like that wasn't the name of the game, it would just seem like, oh, like you press the button. Like, I don't know. It's like we drew so much attention to it, but we'll see. Amanda hasn't edited it yet. What's going to happen? But okay, we're playing a new game. I have to accept it. We went long enough. Game time. All right, accepting the game, entering the game. We're playing, of course, as always, on Board Game Arena. Please sponsor us. We are waiting so very patiently. We haven't even asked more than twice. So
okay.
We're very patient.
Let me refresh us on this game. So every game, you roll the dice. It's not I don't know that I would call this a dice game, though.
Yep. Well, I guess if
maybe.
you had the game in real life, we play on BGA, so a lot of things are taken care of for us, including the dice.
Yes.
And my screen for the YouTube channel says you must use all the dice and can draw. Ooh, drawing. Let's see. I guess I've already technically rolled the dice because it says you must use the dice, and I guess it just automatically rolls it for me. So I am looking at some tiles, and the tiles have, Telepathic Oreo is going. It's my turn. I can remember we've played this game before, and there are different versions, same game, almost like expansions. Over on the right side of the board, I have my tiles I can choose from. I am going to begin placing.
So today at work, my boss told me, she said, I want you to go with this other person to take this kid home because the kid has been getting violent in the car.
That's not good.
And so I went with them and I said, I'll drive the van because the center where I work has a van. And I said, all right, great. So we took the van.
Okay.
And my boss suggested that we turn the child locks on in the van because the kid gets violent. And when she gets violent, she likes to, she really enjoys trying to leave the vehicle when it's
Okay.
moving.
Oh, right. Okay.
And so we went to the sliding door of the van to try and child lock the van. Turns out the van that we have doesn't have child locks, which seems weird because for me, a minivan's primary purpose has always been transporting children. So why would a minivan not have child locks? But we took the kid. She only tried to get out of the car 5,000 times.
That's not
I
that
get
much.
back to the center. I see my boss. I said, listen, she did this thing where she tried to get out of the car. And I think that I shouldn't, that something should be done,
Uh-huh.
is basically what I said. And she said, no, I agree. But she said, why didn't you just turn the child lock on like I said? And I said, because there was no child lock on the van. And she said, every car has child locks. And I said, every car but this one.
except this one.
So then she proceeded to Google in front of me. She
Oh.
proceeded to Google where the child locks were on the van.
Oh, I thought that. Wait, is this all just to spite you, kind of like just to prove her point?
I mean, kind of.
All right.
And I said, I mean, okay, whatever. So she finds where she said the child locks were. And she said, let's go to the van. And I said, okay, we'll go to the van. I said, and because I so fervently do not believe you, I will allow myself, I will sacrifice myself as the tribute to be child locked into the van with the child locks. And you know why? Because the child locks don't exist and I will be able to get out of the van fine.
Right.
So my boss says, great. So I finished eating my lunch and we go outside and she said, okay, get in the van. And I said, great. And then she starts looking on the door where the child lock usually goes. And I said, oh, what's the matter? Having a little bit of trouble finding it.
Very good.
And she couldn't find it. And she said, well, maybe it's just in a different place. And I said, why don't you ask Google again? So it turns out our van just does not have child locks.
Smart.
Which is a bit of a problem when you transport children as we do.
That is a bit of a problem.
It's just a big, huge problem. So that was my day today. Yesterday, my job was to chase a child around the center. And I ran, I think, like, I had a 3-hour session with him. I think I walked like almost 4 miles during my session with him because he was just not having a great time with me. Actually, he was having a great time with me and we had a wonderful time, but he wanted things, but I didn't know like how to get the things that he wanted because the place where I was working was new and different to me and I didn't know my way around. So he kept going, I want to do this. And I kept going, that's great, but I don't know how.
Oh.
Well, I set myself up poorly in this game and I think that you're going to win.
I have no idea. I'm just kind of putting things where things can fit. That's about it. This is kind of similar to last week's show where we were. Nope. I mean, we did record last week, but it was technically 2 weeks ago when we were making our kingdoms.
Ah, yes, King Domino.
Yes, good game.
Great game.
Yes.
That game is really fun in person too.
Yeah, I miss being in person.
I do too. Maybe one weekend when I'm home, we can have an in-person nonsense recording.
Yes. I have big plans. Well, big like fantasy aspiration type deals about how we can accomplish that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just, how to set up cameras and, just how to make a good YouTube video out of it. Speaking of YouTube, we have 3 subscribers and only 2 of those are us. And
Yeah.
I didn't force someone to subscribe. Maybe you did, which is still fine. That's how you have to start out. But hey, we're coming along. I'm honestly amazed about like how our listenership on Spotify, for the podcast, Apple Music, and Anchor, and so on, how successful that's gone. Um, how like we've reached people in uh, Germany and Singapore and all that. And why don't you guys head over to Nonsense Show? It's really easy. All you have to do is go onto YouTube and type like 5 million words, because you'll never get there if you just type in nonsense games. It'll never ever pop up. Like, I made the channel and I still couldn't search for it. Like, that's how hard it was to find it. Like, I went into my personal account to see like, oh, I'm going to subscribe, give us like one of our first subscribers. And I was like, okay. So I got into the YouTube, like, main page, whatever. And it's like, my personal account, so it has no idea about nonsense yet. And I'm like, nonsense board games, Zach and Amanda, and it still didn't do it. It showed me like Amanda Bynes and like stuff like that, and I'm
Dude,
like, ugh.
it is so I think what I'm going to end up doing is putting the URL for the video, or for putting the URL for the YouTube channel in the episode description.
Smart. And then we can do vice versa. We can put the podcast link in the YouTube description.
Yes.
Look at that.
I think that is a great idea.
By the way, I did just now remember the stats bar. So the stopwatch has been started.
And so,
albeit late always.
And so it lives up to its name.
Yes. I wonder if we're going to have an Audat time, which is funny because the T in Audat is time. So it's technically Audat time. Or like Amanda writes down acronyms time. We'll see if we can come up with any more acronyms. But yeah, the YouTube channel has a like 166% click-through rate. I have no idea what that means. I think that click-through is like if some viewer is shown the thumbnail. Click-through rate is the percentage of people who, once seeing the thumbnail, actually click on it to watch it. Like, so it's like it's almost like churn rate for finance people. Like, of the people that could have clicked on it, these people did, and ours has 166%. I have no idea what that means.
How are we getting 166%? Because more people are clicking on the link than are seeing it.
I guess because I showed you, I like literally sent you a link just to say like, oh, here it is. So like technically you weren't shown it by YouTube. I just sent it to you. So it counted as like true. Maybe like 200. I have no idea how they calculate it, why it's such a specific percentage. But data is cool, man. I love data. That's the kind of data I'm really into. Works a little bit better. Tell me about data.
The data hasn't changed enough since the last time I talked about the data to justify talking about the data again. It's only been like 5 days since we recorded last, because last week we just could not get it together.
Yeah. Well, we want to get guests on, and I asked again today, but the same person is busy again. So like, I mean, maybe the nonsensicals will be better friends with us than our actual for real friends. That being said, I've only asked like one person and like haven't done anything else, but still.
I want to ask my board game friend.
Do it for like soon.
I will ask him if he wants to come on.
I think.
And play a board game with us.
I mean, knowing him, I'm sure he'd be delighted.
I'm sure he would be as well.
All right.
I am really not doing good in this game.
I have no idea. I'm doing okay, but yeah, I'm not sure.
You're doing better than I am, bud.
See what happens. I can, let me take a peek. Take a peek at what you got going on here. That's not terrible. I think we're about the same. Yours almost looks better.
We're not about the same.
I don't know. Did it show us a score?
Yes.
Somewhere?
I have 10 and you have 18.
Oh, well, it says 14 on mine.
Oh, what does it say on mine?
No, it says I have 18, but it says you have 14.
Oh, I have 10.
It also has like the spinning like sands of time glass.
Oh yeah, because that means it's time for you to be done with your turn, and then it'll
Yeah.
update and it'll show you that I only have 10 points.
Ah. Okay. I guess maybe you've done something naughty in terms of the game. So it's like
I've not.
minus points. Minus points. Click,
Okay,
click, click.
I'm trying to look at the things that are available to me so that I might be able to potentially salvage this
Mhm.
horrible attempt.
Like the special tiles.
Yes, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. You have 23? Oh, I'm definitely not going to be able to do it.
I don't
Let
know
the
about
record
me.
show that I am done.
Dunzo.
Finished. Dismissed. Rejected. Publicly humiliated.
Wow. I'm impressed with that. Okay. Almost there.
I don't know. I can't use these.
Clickety clack. Instead of click and clack. Clickety clack. Click clack clickety boo. War horse.
This is outrageous.
Do you know, this is really funny Conan O'Brien skit where he's doing his like top of the show, like just news brief. And apparently like the Oscars were just around the time when that like episode of Conan came out. And he was like, oh, that's the fanfare. I just won.
You did not just win. You slaughtered.
Yes, I got 20 more points. I got 37. Telepathic Oreo, aka Amanda,
Oh,
aka
man.
the loser today, has
All right.
17.
Well,
So the AS, which do we have like a piece of paper we could fling?
do you have one? I don't have any.
I'm flipping it.
The AS, if you're keeping track at home, and you should be, it now reads Zach 8,
Yep.
Amanda 10,
Yep.
good friend
Machina.
Machina 1.
1. Man, like whenever we have guests on, are we gonna like have to like make the almighty scoreboard like super duper long with every single participant to have ever like joined the almighty scoreboard? It has to, right?
I think we don't have a choice.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing that has to be done. I mean, it's like Hermione's bag, but a scroll, a scoreboard. That
You just open it and it just keeps unfolding.
Yes. What about a scroll? A scroll. What can we have a scroll for? I guess if you make the almighty scoreboard scroll, the acronym is a little inappropriate, but I feel like we don't
I
want
had water in my mouth just then, so that was fun trying not to spit it everywhere.
We don't want to lose our potential childhood children audience, which I think according to the analytics, you told us that some kids listen, or at least people under the age of 17.
Yes. We can talk about that. I don't think I talked about that last time.
I don't think you have. You told me, like, of course, we're starting a new game, by the way.
Okay, so we have 13%,
well, the same game, but we're playing like a rematch.
A new
to the
round.
Same game. Okay. All right.
13% of our listeners are 0 to 17 years old.
13%. I'd have no idea what that translates in terms of raw numbers.
Funnily enough, we have no listeners in the 18 to 22 category. So
well, we're old.
I don't know what's happening.
That's also
It's
really
not us.
Like small, like age
I'm not
range.
even in the next demographic, which is
Oh my
23 to
God.
27.
That's me.
I'm not there. I am in the 28 to 34, barely, because I'm
Ugh.
only 28.
Hmm.
But the graph is really funny because 28 to 34 is 50% of our listenership. Like, it is just heads and shoulders above everything else. And
That's
it kind of
because,
looks like the graph is flipping us off.
Oh, nice. That's because you are in that age range, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be.
But that's neat. Hello, people in the age range of 0 to 17. I hope you like listening to the content.
Hello,
Yeah.
fellow teens.
Yes. We are teens. We are hip and cool in the hood, if you will. That wasn't even cool when we were teens, or when our like even like 80s kids. I don't know what are we? We're like 90s kids, but like we're 90s kids,
I'm
but we're not.
pretty solid 90s kid.
I'm
My
tail end.
childhood was in the 90s. My adolescence was in the early 2000s. Because I was born in 1992. So most of my childhood took place in the yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
90s, the naughties, as the British would say.
The noughties.
Well, the naughties are the 2000s.
Yeah.
So it's like knots, zeros.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I grew up in that era. I grew up watching The Nanny on Nick at Night.
I did too. Of course, Home Improvement, which is the reason there are so many Home Improvement memes with Tim Allen doing his grunt, is because the people making memes are our generation, the people who watched it on Nick at Night. So we have that to thank.
I love a good meme, man. I'm a sucker for a good meme.
We got to put what do you meme on the photograph?
Oh, dude, can we? That might be a little inappropriate.
Oh, I guess you're right. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll put like a viewer discretion on. We'll have like our own version of Adult Swim, but we'll call it like, I don't know. What's a pun with nonsense, but with like adult, like, I don't know. We'll come up with it for like if we play games like Cards Against Humanity, or I don't know, new phone who dis, those kind of games.
Man, New Phone Who Dis is a great game, and I think our group, when we played it that one time,
it was really funny.
It was really funny. I love games.
Games are.
I love how games. I love how games just bring people together.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, like nothing beats a good game. And I remember when I first found out that Zach liked board games too. That was when our friendship really started to flourish. Because it was like every Sunday during the summer when youth group wasn't happening.
Mm-hmm.
We would go to Zach's house and just play board games. Cards Against Humanity.
There was like a glorious summer where we did it like twice a week almost. It was fun. Cards Against Humanity was good. We liked Puerto Rico. My sister really liked Puerto Rico. Salem was a good one. Like a classic. I mean, King of Tokyo.
King of Tokyo is a great time.
Yes, it is. Oh goodness, I made a mistake.
I wish King of Tokyo could be digitized because I would hop on the King of Tokyo board game arena a lot.
We gotta like, I'm telling you, Board Game Arena, sponsor us. You'll get so much more attention and usership.
Hire us as consultants.
Yeah, we'll basically be consultants just by doing nonsense. You can just, that's what content creators do. Like, there's like a mobile game, and then the content creators, put YouTube videos out where they're playing the mobile game, and then the developers for the mobile game kind of like look at the YouTube videos to see like literally how the community is engaging with their product, which is us. We're just doing it for board games because representation, man.
We love a good board game, man.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I tell you what, just free advertising, BGA is a life send, especially in times where you can't always be together to play in-person games. Well, in-game person. Wow.
That's so true. I think that Zach, and it was all because one time Zach and I, at one point, so earlier in January, A lot of stuff got stolen out of my car.
Ugh.
Zach he said to me, do you want to play Minecraft? And I said yes, because I wanted to play Minecraft. But I couldn't play Minecraft with him because the server that we had together was on my computer that got stolen. And I said, listen, I know it's not like ideal, but I have this other like
Gaming idea.
site that we can use if you really want to do something. And we did this, and it was a great time.
Yeah. And then nonsense emerged from the womb that was.
Nonsense emerged.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that it did, honestly, because
I look forward to it. I was gonna say, I mean, I kind of alluded to it earlier, but like I'm doing better at my work. I'm learning things a little bit more, so I can actually like get a feel for how I'm doing, and I'm actually like what's the word? Engaged with what I'm doing a little bit more, and that's getting slowly better and better, and it's not going the other direction, so that's good. But anyway, we at least try to schedule recording nonsense once a week at the same time, and it really lights up my day. Like I get excited for it. Yeah, it's just one, it's fun to play board games with the friends. Two, I'm excited to like be building something, and hopefully, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to find like I would be excited to find a board gaming channel. Of course, we have Will Whedon, but that's also another fantasy of mine, is that we'll get on tabletop with Will Whedon one day. How cool would that be? I mean, of course, amazing.
I think that would be really cool. I
Hey.
think though that could be our end game.
Yeah. Hey, Will.
But we need to create more manageable goals. Like, for example, for one, I think our first goal should be 50 total listens.
Yeah. Where are we at right now?
Well, I don't really want to go into the data, but we are at 43.
Okay.
So we are doing kind of okay.
We're doing kind of okay.
Kind of okay.
I just got to keep up keep releasing every week. Consistency is everything.
Yep. Consistency is everything.
I mean, honestly, like we record so fast, we might be able to like put out episodes like Mondays and Thursdays or something, we'll see. I mean, whenever we record, we usually record 2 episodes like at a time.
That is true.
And I have no idea if that'll make the stuff grow faster or not. It's kind of a mystery how it all works, but yep.
Hey, are you almost done?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to use the specialty.
Oh yeah, those are a little tricky.
I think I got one to work for me. I'm gonna put you here.
All right. Okay, I'm ready.
I'm almost there.
I'm ready.
And then I'm gonna put you here. I need a lot of straight ones.
Oh no.
We haven't talked much about the game. I won again. Woo.
Not by much though. I really closed the margin.
Wow. Telepathic Oreo 26, Maestro Brant 28.
All right.
Won by tune that time.
Let's go to the almighty scoreboard. Flick your paper again.
Yeah, here comes the AS.
All right, the almighty scoreboard now reads Zach 9, Amanda 10, Machina 1.
I trail by 1.
What does the stats bar say?
21, but I did start a little bit late.
Yeah, a lot late. So I think we cut it here.
Okay. Let us wrap this. All right. So as always, check out the YouTube channel. there's one out, but by the time you're listening to this, there's probably like 3 or 4 total. I think
Probably 3.
4. I think it's 4 because we recorded 1 once and then 2 last week. I think it's gonna be 4. I think.
Check out the YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description for every episode from here on out.
Yep.
And as always, you can find us on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, which is where you should be going to rate us 5 stars. We
not
have
checked.
2 whole 5-star ratings.
Is that more than last time?
No,
Good. Great. You guys, way to show up, guys. Wow. It's all right. We'll get there. We're very appreciative of you. Leave us your voice recordings. Guess what game you played this week, or just say hi. Maybe you'll end up in the next episode. But
Could
until
be.
then, bye-bye.
bye.